system. That means PC, you can say personal computer. Okay. Then what we need to do? We need to reboot the machine. That's it, my guys. So we need to reboot the machine, and then so we should enter into the BIOS. So BIOS, basic input output system. How we need to enter into this BIOS? So using some function keys. It depends upon your motherboard manufacturer. They will provide some function keys. How will get this function key to enter into the BIOS in a sense? When you are rebooting the machine at the time, so in boot screen, it will provide some function key. So using this function key, so we are going to enter into the BIOS. So BIOS full form, basic input output system. So basic input output system BIOS full form. Clear? So now how we need to enter into the BIOS? Using function keys. We have F1 to F12 function keys. So if you want to can use this function key, some motherboard manufacturer they will provide delete and escape keys also. So delete and escape key to enter into the BIOS. It depends upon motherboard manufacturer. Okay, it depends upon motherboard manufacturer. So we'll get the BIOS. Okay, so you can use F1 to F12. So if you want, you can use F1 or F12. So F10 some like F10 some vendors they will provide F12 also some vendors they will provide. Some vendors they will provide delete key. Some vendor they will provide escape key. So using this function keys and delete key and escape key can enter into the BIOS. So inside the BIOS, you have the one option called boot. Boot. So boot is an option. It contains some bootable options like first boot device and second boot device. So like this, we'll have the some option inside the boot. So we need to open the first boot device. First boot option. So inside this first boot, you need to select the DVD or pen drive according to your requirement. If you're using DVD to install the operating system, so we need to select the DVD like ISO image DVD we need to select. Otherwise, you can select pen drive. This depends upon your requirement and drive you can select. Okay. So if you're having the hello guys, can you hear me? Hello. So guys, you're getting any disturbance? Which voice you are getting? Give me a minute. Oh, it's okay. Hello. Okay. So let's see here. So we need to select first boot device, and then first boot device. Inside the first boot device, we need to select the pen drive or DVD according to your requirement. Okay. Then what we need to do? So we should save the settings. So we need to save the settings using F10 option. F10 to save BIOS settings. Okay. And what we need to do? So we need to reboot the operating system. Right? We need to reboot the machine, not operating system, but we need to reboot the machine. Okay. So we should reboot. So clear? We need to reboot. So we need to save the settings and escape. We should reboot. So after rebooting, the installation process it will happen. So we are discussing about file system hierarchy. Gaurav Kumar. Okay. So now I'm teaching how to install the operating system into the physical machine steps. I'm not going to install the operating system into the physical machine. How we need to install this operating system into the physical machine, especially Windows machine. So we require ISO image. So using this ISO image, we need to create the bootable DVD or pen drive. So we need to connect this bootable DVD or pen drive to the system, and we need to reboot the system. And then after rebooting, we should enter into the BIOS. So we should use function keys or delete key or escape key using this. So depends upon motherboard manufacturer. So we need to use this function keys or delete key and escape key. So we should enter into the BIOS. And after entering into the BIOS, inside the BIOS, we'll have the one option called boot. Inside the boot, we'll have the one more option called first boot. There we need to select the pen drive. Then we need to change the settings, and we should reboot this machine. So after rebooting, so it will start, and then it will install the operating system into our hard disk, our secondary storage device. Okay. Assume this is my hard disk. So this is my hard disk, guys. Okay. So now I'm trying to installing the operating system into the C drive. Okay, I'm installing the operating system into the C drive. The installation process, it will happen into the C drive. So now Windows, and I'm trying to installing into the C drive. Guys, my question is, why C drive? Why not A and why not B? If you connect the hard disk into the machine, if you try to installing the operating system, you'll get the C drive. So let's see here. I'm going to open my computer. See, I'm using Windows 10 operating system as a base machine. So go to the disk PC. So if you click this disk PC option, then we'll have the C drive. And after that, we'll have the D and E and I, H, and these all drives we'll have. Why C? Why not A and B? Generally, Windows, it will support A to Z drive letters. A to Z. So A to Z drive letters will have. So what about A and B? What about A and B? This is reserved for floppy. So floppy diskette. It's reserved for floppy, and then C, it's reserved for hard disk. And D, if you're connecting any device, automatically one drive letter it is going to assign to identify the device. Without drive letter, you are unable to identify the device, you are unable to store the data, you are unable to retrieve the data. Retrieve the data from the particular device. Simple, guys. You need to attend the offline class, okay, into Naresh Technology. So we'll have the Naresh classroom, Naresh Technology classroom. Classrooms we'll have in campus. So we have the 4 floors, and each floor having 4 classes, 4 classrooms. So Linux class, it is conducting into 4th floor into the 4th classroom. So if you doesn't know the particular classroom name and then classroom floor number, how you can able to attend the class? It is possible. It is possible, guys. Can you able to attend the class without knowing the classroom number and classroom floor? So it's not possible, yes. So we should know the proper address to attend the class. At the same way, we need to store the data into the hard disk. So we need to store the data into the hard disk in a sense. So we should identify the hard disk. How you are going to identify this hard disk device? Using this drive letter. Without drive letter, you are unable to store the data into the hard disk. Not only into the hard disk, into the pen drive, but into some DVD. So each and every device, Windows having one good feature, automatically is going to assign one drive letter to this particular drive to access the particular device. So we can say in Linux, technically, it is called mount point. Guys, you are trying to storing the data into the C drive or otherwise into the hard disk. So this is a C is a drive letter, guys. So C is a drive letter. If I'm trying to creating one more partition, one more drive letter will get. Yes, this is one more partition, and D is a drive letter for that. Okay, so D is a drive letter. C is one drive letter, and D is one drive letter. So I'm storing the data into the C. That means I need to access the C. So using the C drive letter, I'm trying to accessing this block. This is one block. I'm trying to accessing this block. I'm trying to storing the data into the C drive. I'm going to retrieve the data from the C drive. So there's a D drive. So I need to store the data into the D block. So it's a D drive. So I'm going to store the data into the D drive. Without drive letter, you are unable to identify this block. Yes. So now one more question. Where you are trying to store in the data into the drive letter or otherwise into the drive. This is only drive letter, guys, to identify the particular device, particular drive. Okay, so not storing the data into the drive letter. Instead of B, if you want, you can provide some different drive letter also, there is no issues. You can provide some different mount points also, and mount point also, there is no issues. Here, so where you are trying to storing the data into the hard disk, Coming to Windows, especially where we are trying to storing all the data, whatever it may be operating system, it may be your personal data, it may be your official data, so it may be your any data where we are trying to storing in a sense under reverse slash. See here, we have the reverse slash each and drive having one reverse slash. Under reverse slash, this is a top level directory, you can say, in Windows. Under reverse slash itself only, we are trying to storing the data, not into the C drive, not into the D drive. So C and D is a drive letter to identify that particular block, that particular device. That's it. We are storing the data into the device, not into the drive letter, guys. I hope you're clear. Yes? Yes, no? Do you have any doubts, any questions? Yes, guys, please. Okay. So now this is all about Windows. Coming to Linux. So most of the people, what is floppy? Okay. So do you know pen drive? Nowadays we are using pen drive to store the data and CDs and DVDs to store the data. Before CDs and DVDs, we have floppy drives. Nowadays we are not utilizing this floppy drives. It's outdated. I will show you some images. Let's see here. Boot means starting. This one terminology. Starting. So rebooting, restarting. You have the mobile phone, it got hang. What you are going to do? What you are going to do? You are going to rebooting the mobile. That's it, nah? Restarting, rebooting, both are same. Boot means starting. That's it. Okay. So floppy disk images I will show you. See here. There's a floppy disk images. See, there's a floppy disk image. Okay. So in this floppy disk, we're going to store the data like DVD, like CD. How we are trying to storing the data into the DVD and CD. Okay. So into like the same way we are storing the data into the floppy drive. I'm giving, okay, so please concentrate the class. So don't bother about the installation part. And I will provide the all the softwares and then ISO images. Don't worry, we'll provide the link. Okay. So this is a floppy disk, guys. So here we are going to store the data. So nowadays we are using pen drives. In olden days we'll have the floppy drive, etc. Okay. So floppy drive, yeah, welcome. Okay. So floppy drive images. This is a drive. It will be looking like CD drive. See, this is a floppy drive. We have two types of floppy drives, guys. One is so normal floppy, another one is double density floppy. A for normal floppy, B for double density floppy. Okay. So this is floppy drive. Clear? So I hope you're clear, guys. But the next. So now coming to Linux. So coming to Linux, we doesn't have any drive letter concept. Clear? So coming to Linux, we doesn't have any drive letter concept. Guys, as of now we discussed, without drive letter, we are unable to store the data into the particular device. We are unable to retrieve the data from the particular device. Yes? So coming to Linux, I'm saying again, it doesn't have any drive letter. C drive, E drive, E, D, like this. FG, like this drive letters we doesn't have in Linux. How we need to store the data, where we need to store the data. So guys, here coming to Linux, we have one hierarchy that is called file system hierarchy. So file system hierarchy, it's one tree structure. This is one tree structure here. So where we are trying to storing the data into the Linux in the sense under /. So you can say this is a root directory or top level directory. So top level directory. So root directory or top level directory you can say. So this is a parent directory for all other directories. In Linux, we are going to store the data under root, under /. This is one directory. You can assume that this is one directory. It's one directory. Directory means folder. Coming to Linux, we should not call folder. We need to call directory, guys. So terminology is a bit different. Okay, who's keeping like experience for them? It's very, very important. In Windows, we are calling folder. Coming to Linux, we need to call directory. This is one directory, that means it's one folder. So this is a /. This is a top level directory. It's a root directory for all other directory. You can say it's a parent directory. This is one tree structure. Under this directory itself only, we are going to store all the data. It may be operating system related data. It may be your personal data. It may be your official data. Here. So I hope you got it. So // is a top level directory having all other directories. Here. So yesterday we created 3 directories while we are installing the operating system at the time. I think day before yesterday. Root, boot, and swap, and then one more directory called home. It's optional. Yes, root. This is a /. So we are going to intimating /. So root directory, yes, it's a one hard disk. So how we are trying to accessing how we are trying to accessing the hard disk with the help of here /. In the same way, here we are trying to storing the data into the hard disk using /. Okay, so I hope you got it, guys. So // is a root directory. / is a root directory. It's a top level directory for all other directories. So if you install the operating system, so automatically inside the root will have few directories. So now we are going to discuss about this all the directories. That is called file system hierarchy. Under root, we'll have some subdirectories. So now we are going to discuss about this all the directories. So what type of services these directories it is providing for us? Simple, guys. How many people you belongs to Hyderabad? How many people you belongs to Hyderabad? How many of you belongs to Hyderabad? Only one? Okay. So generally, doing the courses, which place is the best in India? You need to learn some courses in India. Which place is the best? So by default, Hyderabad only, na? Delhi doesn't have many institutions. Okay. So if you join the course into the Delhi, they're going to charge you more. Okay. Naresh IT. Good. Okay. Amirpet is one area in Hyderabad will have all the institutions. Guys, Amirpet is a top level directory. Okay. Amirpet is a top level directory. It contains a number of the institution. So we'll have Naresh IT, we'll have some other institutions also. Each and every institution peoples, they are providing the same courses or different courses. They're providing same courses, guys. Everyone they're providing same course. Everyone they're providing Linux. Everyone they're providing DevOps. No, no. The different institution peoples, different courses they're trying to providing for us. They're providing some services for us. So especially coming to Naresh IT. Okay. So Naresh IT is a one top level directory. So Naresh IT, how many courses they're providing for us? So different types of courses they're providing for us. Linux, DevOps, AWS, Java, .NET, Python. Okay, so like this different courses they're providing for us. So different courses means different environments will have. So different faculties they are going to teach for us. So like the same way, so this is a top level directory and it contains different directories. So for example, /ROOT /ROOT is a root directory for is a home directory, not root directory, guys. It's a home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. How many types of user accounts will have? How many types of user accounts will have, guys? Yes. How many types of user accounts will have? Two types of user accounts. What are they? We'll have the disk partitions also. Sachin, don't bother about this all. Please try to concentrate this, okay? So one is admin, another one is root user. That's it, now? Admin and guest user, not root user. Coming to Linux, so you can say root user and normal user. In Windows, you have admin user account and then guest user account. So this is in Windows. Coming to Linux, so root user we are calling, administrator we are calling root user, guest user we are calling normal user. So clear, guys? So one is guest user, another one is normal user, or you can say guest user also, there is no issues. Normal user we need to call. Okay? So we need to call normal user. Okay, normal user we need to call. Okay? So now we have the two types of user accounts. One is root user, another one is normal user. So now /ROOT is a one directory. What type of services these directories is providing? It is providing for us. So let's see here. /ROOT is a home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. Okay. So what is the use of the /ROOT? This is a home directory for root user, and it will provide the default work environment for the root user. So what is meant by home directory, guys? Do you have any idea? So it's a /ROOT is a home directory for root user. If you want, you can make a note, guys. /ROOT is a home directory of the root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. For example, in Windows, I hope you know very well about Windows. Okay, I'm logging as an administrator. Okay, I'm trying to creating my curriculum vitae resume. I'm creating, like I'm trying to preparing my curriculum vitae resume. Okay, how you are going to prepare the resume, guys? With the help of MS Word. That's it, now. So with the help of MS Word, I'm trying to preparing my curriculum vitae resume. So I prepared my resume I save this resume, I close this. I didn't provide any special location to save the resume. I need to reopen the resume again. I need to reopen the resume document again. So from where it will save by default, guys? Where it will be located? I use Control S option, resume it got saved. I close this resume document. I need to open the resume document again. So by default, where it will store, guys? By default, where it will store? Yes, do you have any idea? Into the C only, but exactly in which location? Very good. So documents. Okay. So Phillips, very good Phillips. Documents. By default, it will store into documents. So I'm logging as a administrator. I'm trying to creating one file. I'm trying to creating one document. I saved this file. I didn't provide any, especially one location to store this file. So if you didn't provide any like storing location, by default is going to store it in the documents. This document it belongs to whom? Administrator. That's it, no? Admin user account documents. So by default, the data it will store in the documents, it belongs to administrator. And the same way, coming to Linux, if I'm logging as a root user, if I'm trying to creating some files and directories, so by default, files and directories where it will store in the sense inside the /root. So /root is a home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. I hope you're clear. I hope you got it, guys. /root is a home directory. While you're trying to create any files, any directories with the help of root user, so by default, it will store in the sense inside the /root. Clear? Next. So /home is a home directory for normal user. /home is a home directory for normal user. Guys, coming to Linux, we can create by default 60,000 user accounts. 60,000 local user account in one machine by default, and recommended 4 lakhs, more than 4,50,000. Here, more than 4,50,000 user accounts we can create into Linux operating system by default. Okay. So now, if I'm trying to creating some multiple user accounts, multiple normal user account, this one directory is enough to store the data? Yes, guys. So I have the one user called Anwar, we have the one user called Philip, and we'll have the one user called Ansari. So we'll have the multiple users that try to creating some data, that try to creating some files and directories. So I said /home is a home directory for normal user. You are all normal users. If you're trying to storing the data into the one directory, to identify the data, it's a bit difficult to us. For example, if you're having the 60,000 user account, everyone they are storing the data into the same directory, same folder. In Windows, we need to call folder, here we need to call directory. Into the same directory, to identify the data, it's a bit difficult to us. So because of that reason, so let's see here. So why I said home is a home directory for a normal user in the sense, while you're trying to creating the user account. For example, yesterday I was created one user called student. Yes, I was created one user called student. Now, while you're creating the user account, automatically one home directory will be created for the particular user account inside the home. Inside the home, in the name of this user, one directory will be created. Student. Yeah? Home student is a home directory for student user. Student user is a normal user. Okay. So now I'm trying to creating one more user called Philip. Okay. So Philip. Okay. So now Philip user home directory, guys. Home Philip. Here. I hope you got it, guys. If I'm trying to creating the Imran user account, then home Imran. So normal user, home directory is a home. Why? Because common we are going to store the data into the directory called home. So student user data also we are storing it into the home directory, and then Philip user data also we are going to store it in the home directory itself only. So there's a parent directory. Under parent directory, automatically in the name of directory, one directory will be created. This is one folder, guys. Inside this folder, automatically one more folder it got created in the name of this particular user account. If you try to create the student user, the student folder it will be created inside the home directory, home folder. So because of that reason, you can say slash home is a home directory for normal user. It will provide the default work environment for the normal user. So I hope you're clear, guys. Guys, can you hear me? Please respond. Why audio is breaking, man? So child, so before that you said like some disturbance we are having, so now you doesn't have any disturbance. Why audio is breaking? So check the your internet connectivity. What about remaining people? Root is a home directory for root user. It's a default. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. It's a home directory for root user. Slash home is a home directory for normal user. Slash home is a home directory for normal user. It will provide the default work environment for the normal user. Okay. Guys, please respond. If you're having any doubts, please ask me. And I'm going to explain you. If you're simply sitting into your homes, you're not going to get any Linux class. You're not going to get any Linux subject. Got it? So please concentrate. Keep your headphones along with you. This is very, very important session. Without knowing this file system hierarchy, you are unable to understand the Linux. Home or root, what will happen? What will happen means I didn't get you. See, we'll see later where the user it will be created. We'll have the one concept called user management. What I'm trying to providing the information, please concentrate that. Okay. Each and everything we'll discuss. We'll have the user management. I was given the content to you people, yes. I've shown the content to you people, yes. We'll have the like concepts, guys, where the user it will be created. We'll have the user and group management, everything. Please concentrate on file system hierarchy. What you are trying to asking the question, I'm unable to understand. What happened means? Everything I will show you, Sidhu. We are into theoretical part now. If you doesn't know this file system hierarchy, you are unable to understand any Linux concept. If you try to creating the directory, you should know where you are trying to creating the directory. Yes, we should know now where we need to create the directory and these all stuff. I'm not a mad, na? So why I'm teaching these all stuff unnecessarily? Directly, I'm going to start like mkdir and cd commands and these all stuff. Yes, I am trying to provide you these all the information. So without knowing the file system hierarchy, 10 to 20% Linux, it depends upon file system hierarchy itself only. Directly, if you require the commands, I'm going to start from tomorrow onwards. There is no issues. I'll stop the class now, and then we'll start the commands. That's it, no? What is the use of to learning the commands, guys? If you doesn't know the subject, if you doesn't know about operating system, Simply you don't execute the commands? Tell me. Please respond. Please concentrate. Guys, again and again I'm saying, if you need like good subject and if you need good knowledge, please concentrate. So we'll have the 30 to 35 working days time. After completing this 30 to 35 working days time, what type of doubts you'll have, everything we are going to cover. Okay. So please concentrate here. So most of the people that doesn't know about the Linux, and very like many people, 50% people that belongs to non-IT and 50% people they're freshers. Please concentrate. While I'm trying to teaching, if I'm asking them questions, please respond me, okay? So let's see here. /root is a directory. So it's a root directory /root. So it's a home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. That means if I'm logging as a root user into our operating system, if I'm trying to creating the files and directories, by default where it will store inside the /root. This is a home directory root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. If I'm logging as a normal user account, for example, yesterday while I'm installing the operating system, I was created one user called student. If I'm logging as a student user account, I'm trying to creating the files and directories where it will store inside the home. So inside the home, while you're creating the user account, automatically one directory will be created in the name of that particular user. Home student is a home directory for normal user, student user. Philip user home directory, home Philip is a home directory for Philip user account. So like this, if I'm creating the Imran user account, home Imran is a home directory for Imran user account. So for example, I'm logging as a student user. I'm trying to creating some files and directories. So by default, where it will store it will store it to the home student. Home student, clear? Now, next. /boot. So /boot is a directory. It contains all the bootable files. Contain all the bootable files. The bootable files means, do you have any idea, guys? Bootable files. So in Windows, sometimes you'll get some errors. Boot.img is missing. NTLDR is missing. Press any key to continue, like this errors will get. Yes? Yes, no. While you are trying to rebooting the machine at the time, you'll get one black screen and then you'll get some errors. Boot.img is missing. NTLDR is missing, like this. Okay. So here, this is called bootable files. If you doesn't have this bootable file, you are unable to reach the operating system. So like this bootable files will have inside the boot. So simple, guys. I'm trying to traveling from my hometown to Hyderabad. My hometown to Hyderabad. How I'm going to travel, guys? My source is my hometown. My destination is my Hyderabad. I need to reach to the Hyderabad. How I need to reach to the Hyderabad? With the help of some vehicles. Yes, by bus or train or by car. So it may be some vehicles we require to reach our destination. So like the same way, without vehicle, we are unable to reach our destination. Yes. So now, like the same way, if I'm starting the mission, how to start the mission, guys? So we need to switch on. So I have the power button. So in my laptop, we need to press this power button. The mission, it will start. That means the computer, it will start. So that is called booting. That is called booting. So now the system, if it is booting, so finally it is starting now. So the destination of the system is operating system. We need to reach to the operating system. So without vehicles, can you be able to reach your destination? It's not possible. Like the same way, without bootable files, we are unable to reach to our operating system. I hope you got it. Here, bootable files are vehicles to reach the operating system. So without bootable files, you are unable to get the operating system. So because of that reason, in Windows, sometimes you'll get some errors. So boot.img is missing, NTLDR is missing like this. Here, so like this bootable files will have inside the /boot in Linux. So coming to bootloaders, they have different types of bootloaders inside the /boot. So let's see here. Grub, 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 Ground Unified Bootloader version 2, Grub 2. Ground Unified Bootloader version 2. In RHEL 7.0 and as well as in 8.0, they have the Grub 2 bootloader. It contains kernel images, RDFS images. Okay. While you are trying to starting this, guys, we have one chapter called boot process, operating system boot process. At the time, I will give you much information about Grub. Don't worry at present. So Grub is a one bootloader. That means it's a one folder. It contains kernel images, so RDFS images, and Grub configuration files. Grub configuration files. So Grub 2 is the latest bootloader in RHEL 7.0 as well as in 8.0 version. Okay, in RHEL 7.0 as well as in 8.0, they have the Grub 2. And coming to Grub, so it having into by default in the RHEL 6.0 version. In older version, so before 6.0, we'll have 5.0, 4.0, and then 3.0, 2.0 versions will have. In that version, we'll have LILO, Linux Loader, you can say. So Linux Loader full form, okay? LILO, okay? 5.0 version, and as well as in 4.0, in 3.0, in 2.0 versions will have LILO, Linux Loader. So this is a boot loaders. It contains kernel images, RDFS images, and configuration files related to Grub. Yeah. So Grub 2 is the latest bootloader. So in RHEL 7.0 as well as in 8.0. So boot contain Grub 2. Boot is a one directory. Directory means? Directory means? Yes guys. Directory means? In Linux. In Windows directory means? Folder. So we need to call folder into the Windows. And coming to Linux, we should call directory. Terminology is different, that's it. Okay? So Grub 2 /boot. boot is a one directory. It will be available inside the root directory. Slash means it's a one root directory, top level directory. Okay? So /boot directory contain Grub 2 directory. So Grub 2 having kernel images and Grub configuration files and RDFS images. Here, with the help of this bootloader, the system it will start. So we have the one concept called boot process. At the time I will tell you. Okay. I will show you each and every directory. Don't worry. Next. /etc contain configuration files. etc contain configuration files. So what is meant by configuration file, guys? So what is meant by configuration files? Do you know the configuration files? So blindly remember etc contain configuration files. Students is the so configuration files means simple, guys. For example, I'm trying to creating one user account. I need to know the properties of the user. Okay. So I'm trying to creating one user account. So I need to know the properties of the particular user account. So what type of properties? That means the metadata of the particular user account. So what type of user it is, whether it is having the password, whether it is having the what we say login shell or not. Okay, and these all stuff. Clear? So whether having the login shell or not, so we need to find out. So where we need to find out in the sense, while you're trying to creating the user account by default, where it will store in the sense the user related properties inside the ETC. Okay, inside the ETC. So clear. Inside the ETC, we'll have the all the configuration files. And one more example I will tell you. For example, I'm trying to installing the one service. Try to installing one service. For example, HTTPD is a one service. It's a one web server. It's one web server. HTTPD is a one web server. So inside this HTTPD, I'm trying to installing this HTTPD services. Okay. By default, automatically one user it will be created, and then one home directory will be created, one configuration file will be created. Guys, if you try to deploying service, so we need to configure the server. According to my requirement, I need to configure the services. I need to configure the services. Clear? So now I'm trying to configure the services. The server, it should provide for some particular network, which should not provide for some different network. How we need to configure this, all the configurations in the sense with the help of configuration file. So if you try to installing any services, so by default, server related configuration file, it will store into the /etc. Store into the /etc. Okay, clear? So inside the /etc, blindly remember /etc contain all the configuration files. Clear? So I hope you're clear, guys. So okay, so we'll do one thing. I'm going to stop the session now, and we'll continue from Monday. So tomorrow, no class. Tomorrow Saturday, only this Saturday we doesn't have any class. From Monday onwards, I'm going to continue the session. I'm going to save this document. Okay. If you require, if you want, you can take a screenshot. Okay. Monday, I'm going to share the image file related link, and as well as RHEL VMware related link, everything. Okay. So that is what I'm saying, Rahul. So, Monday, I'm going to share you. Okay. Okay, guys. See you on Monday. So bye. Take care.